So, how you doing? My name is Immanuel. What's your name?
My name's Candy.
Your name's Candy? So, you want to know basically, you understand in the Old Testament that God was only dealing with Israel. That's your understanding, right? Because you said in Jesus, He the vine, we the branches. So through Jesus,
we are grafted into the family. That we, even though we're not Jewish, we are grafted into the Jewish family when we accept Christ in our heart and start living the way we're supposed to live by the instructions.
Got you. So watch this. Your understanding of the Old Testament is what?
I don't know the Old Testament that well. I don't know the New Testament that well either. I just know what I've been taught.
Okay. Have you ever watched a movie?
Which one?
Like any movie. Name a movie.
Like Moses or David?
No, a movie, a film. Like a film period. Like, I don't know.
I watch a lot of Disney movies. So
you watch a lot of Disney movies, right? So, what about Beauty and the Beast?
Okay.
You seen that before?
Yes, I have.
So, if I started watching Beauty and the Beast at the 59-minute mark, am I going to understand the entirety of the movie? No. So you telling me you don't understand the Old Testament, which is...
No, I didn't say I didn't understand it, but I didn't know. There's a difference.
Is it?
Yes. Because ignorance can be changed.
Watch. So what is your understanding?
My understanding of the Old Testament is that God gave us protections of the Jews. That God said, if you follow me, I will bless you, your nation, your family, your children's children, and so on.
Who is he talking to? Who is he dealing with? So, okay. So, we're going right back to the beginning. Stop.
Israel was in the
I got you. So we're going right back to the beginning when I first asked you. Right. Your understanding of the Old Testament is that God was only dealing with Israel, correct?
With the Jews, not Israel. Israel was not established until King David. Israel was not established until King David. Solomon built everything up for David. That's why David had to be a warrior and set David apart.
Who is Solomon's father?
I don't remember. I was just listening to that.
You said Solomon built everything up for David.
Solomon killed his brother. That was his first act as king.
Solomon was the son of David.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Then I got it backwards.
Okay.
And again, I said I'm ignorant. I don't know. I'm still learning.
Okay. So what do you know about the book of Genesis?
It's where everything started. It's where everything will go back to.
Okay. So go to Genesis 32:28. Listen to this.
Okay.
Genesis chapter 32, verse 28.
Yeah.
All right.
This one. The book of Genesis, chapter 32 and verse 28. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob.
So this was an individual named Jacob. You know who Jacob is? He's the grandson of Abraham. You had Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Okay.
All right? So this is him telling Jacob, your name shall be no more called Jacob. Go ahead.
But Israel.
So Jacob's name, Jacob, the individual, the man, his name was changed to Israel. Go ahead.
For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and hast prevailed.
And that's what that name means. Israel means a prince that has power with God and has prevailed. You understand? So that was an individual. So this is Genesis. So Israel began where?
You're comparing people to places.
No. I didn't say nothing. I never said anything about a place. I never said anything about a place at all.
Yeah, right.
You did in the beginning.
No, I did not. I never did. I said God was only dealing with Israel.
Right.
Who is Israel? That is a nation of people.
Right.
It was a people way before it was a place. The name of the place came from the people dwelling in those borders.
Right.
That's why it was named that place. You understand?
Yeah.
So God was dealing with Israel in the beginning, in the book of Genesis.
Right.
Okay? You with me?
Yeah.
So your understanding is that God was only dealing with this particular people that came from Jacob in the Old Testament. That's your understanding. Correct? So now put your finger where the New Testament begins.
Yes, sir.
So according to your understanding, right? God was only dealing with one nation of people for all of this time, and then bam, right here, it all changed, and now he's dealing with everybody. That's your understanding.
He wasn't just dealing with the Israelites in the New Testament, because Jesus said,
no. In the Old Testament, he was only dealing with the Israelites.
yes,
For thousands of years.
chosen people.
Yes. But in the New Testament, God changed.
Right.
Right. You sure about that?
Well, I mean, no, he didn't change, but he changed what the stories were given and the provisions that were given and the protections given.
Okay.
Because he made a way for people that were not Israelites
I got you.
to get to him,
Gotcha.
to get to the promised land like the chosen.
Got you. Now watch this, right? We're finna have a class right now. Because I had the exact same understanding as you.
Bring it up.
I thought the same way as you. That's how we was all taught, right? But we about to give you a class of biblical understanding. Go to Matthew 15. We gonna go to the New Testament, and then we gonna go back to the Old Testament and bring it full circle. All right? Matthew 15, start at 21, 22.
Yes, sir. The book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 22. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast.
So this woman of Canaan, she was not an Israelite. She did not come from the lineage of Israel. Go ahead.
And cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil.
Right, so her daughter needed healing, but she wasn't an Israelite. Go ahead.
But he answered her not a word.
So when she first came to Jesus, contrary to all the rest of the stories when he walked the earth, when people came up to him for healing, he would heal them. But when she first approached, he ignored her. Go ahead.
And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us.
They never did that to anybody else. But when this non-Israelite woman approached, they said Christ ignored her, and then the disciples became aware. They were like, man, send her away. You understand? She's not supposed to have.
She doesn't do what we
No, it's not that. It's she does not qualify for the healing.
None of us qualify for the healing.
I see what you're saying, but as far as, well, he's finna explain it. Watch this.
But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So what qualifies you for the healing, because you're right, nobody deserves it, but what qualified you for the healing was to be of the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right.
That's the only people that Christ was sent for.
To be a child of Israel.
Yes, so he's clarifying why she was ignored and the disciples were sending her away. Because he was only sent unto the children of Israel. That's Jesus Christ.
He stopped doing that because his chosen wouldn't listen to him. That's why he went to the Gentiles.
Stop. So right here out of Jesus' mouth, he told you who he was sent for.
Right.
Okay. Now, you're trying to imply the idea that his people rejected him.
It says in the Bible that they rejected him.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, that's why he flipped over the table in the synagogue, because they decried his father's house.
So who were his disciples?
What do you mean?
Who were his disciples?
I don't know what you're asking me. Like, I mean, his disciples were Israelites.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Okay.
So his disciples.
I was like,
So listen.
I'm trying to follow along.
You said his people rejected him, but his disciples were Israelites.
Yes.
So make that make sense.
Because when he went to his chosen people into his father's
He
house,
gathered disciples.
they told him that he wasn't allowed
When
to
he
preach.
went to the Jews, did he not gather disciples?
I'm not saying he didn't. What I'm saying though is there came a point in his teachings where he was teaching that they chose to ignore him.
Who?
The Israelites.
No. If he had disciples that were Israelites, how did they choose not to listen to him?
Because they didn't follow what he was teaching. They didn't believe that he was a prophet. He did not. That's what made him mad in the synagogue. He went to the synagogue and he refused to read from the Torah because he came and told them, I did not come to teach the law. I came to fulfill the law. And they said it was blasphemous.
No, that's not what happened. Then what you're saying is not in the Bible. You conflated a few different accounts and you trying to merge them into one thing. When he went and flipped over the tables, he was not, listen, he wasn't teaching nothing. He walked in the temple and they were selling in the temple.
Yes.
So he overthrew the tables.
That happened after, but
there was no
that,
reading of the Torah, none of that involved. You merging a different story when Christ, every time he taught, he opened the Torah. He used the Bible.
He was not allowed to preach in the synagogue then.
What you mean he wasn't allowed to preach?
He was not allowed to preach in the synagogue.
Okay.
That's why he went to the streets, to the Gentiles, because the Israelites
that's not true.
would not.
That's not true.
That.
Give me John 18 and 20. That's not true. Watch this. John 18 and 20.
John chapter 18, verse 20. Jesus answered him, I spake openly to the world. Ever taught in the synagogue?
I what?
I ever taught in the synagogue.
I what?
I ever taught in the synagogue.
Where did Christ teach?
Bring it up!
I didn't
Ever.
say he didn't ever.
He said, I ever, meaning always taught in the synagogue.
That's right.
Go ahead.
So then why?
I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple.
Where what?
Where the Jews always resort.
Who is always his target audience? Do you know what's happening?
I know what it's.
Do you know what's happening right now?
Is chosen.
Do you know what's happening right now and what we're reading? This is when he's being arrested, taken into custody to be crucified. So his entire career of teaching, he's telling you what he was doing. Teaching in a synagogue, in a temple where the Jews always were. So there wasn't a point before this that he did anything different. You understand? So from the synagogue, from the temple, he did have followers. But he had some, he had some that did reject him. Right. Nobody is saying that all Israel completely followed him because he would have never got crucified.
I didn't say that all
It wasn't ordained for it to happen that way. But the narrative is that, oh, Israel rejected him. No, Israel did not reject him. Israel followed him. Right. The rulers of Israel, such as the chief priests, the scribes, the Pharisees, they rejected Christ. Yes. You understand? But some of them believed secretly, like Nicodemus. Some of them repented later, like Paul, the apostle. You understand? Guess what? They were all Israelites. Right. So the narrative has to stop that the Israelites rejected Christ, so he went to everybody else.
Oh, what time for rise up, rise up. This are your kingdom of fall right now. Your time up, time up. This is the work of God. This are your kingdom reach to the stage of decadence. The water rise up and it's very evident. We come to claim our roots and take back our heritage. We were never savages, taken from the decayed state. No my kindred wake, meditating scriptures and increase with faith. While leading reach destruction await. Bind them kings with chain. Oh, what time to rise up, rise up. This are your kingdom of fall right now. Your time.
Hey, Shalom, Most High, Christ bless. This is Captain Immanuel. Subscribe to IUIC Arkansas on YouTube. First and foremost, scan that QR code. Follow us on all platforms to help us push this truth. Facebook, Instagram, X.com, TikTok, need I say more? Everything. Just type in IUIC Arkansas and hit the follow or subscribe button, all right? Most High, Christ bless. Now what's going to happen, like I told you, I'm going to help you. Because the Bible does say that the apostles went to the Gentiles. The Lord sent them to the Gentiles.
They were more open to his teachings than the Israelites.
Not necessarily, because Paul...
That's what I was taught. I'm just saying that's what I was taught.
I know, that's what, you're right, that is what we always taught, right? But the Gentiles, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to show you something. Go to Deuteronomy 32. Deuteronomy 1 and 1. So, I'm going to wait. Deuteronomy 1 and 1. Watch this.
Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So in the book of Deuteronomy, who is Moses speaking to?
The children that he brought out of Egypt.
Right, the Israelites, right? Go to Deuteronomy 32. Deuteronomy 32:26. Listen to this.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 26. I said, I would scatter them into corners.
So the Lord said, I would scatter Israel into corners, right? The corners meaning what?
Corners of the world.
Right, the four corners of the earth.
Right.
I would scatter the Israelites into the four corners of the earth. Go ahead.
I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
Meaning they would forget who, once they were scattered, they would forget who they are.
Right.
So watch this. Are you familiar with the concept of kidnapping?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say, right, you had a child. Where you live?
Well, I live.
Right, North Carolina, right? Let's say, I don't know, what's the more Scenic?
No, I see that part.
Where's
Scenic
Scenic?
Hill?
Yeah, let's say you stayed in Scenic Hill.
Okay.
You had two children. They were 5 and 6, right? And then
Increase it after you hit
they were kidnapped. So the kidnapper brought them to Omaha, Nebraska. He brought one to Omaha, Nebraska, and he brought one to Temple, Florida. And they grew up to be adults, right? In the process of time, remember they were kidnapped when they were 5 and 6. By the time they reach adulthood, where are they going to say they're from?
Wherever they were taken and wherever they were raised. They're not going to remember where they came from.
Who are they going to call their mother and father?
The people that raised them, the kidnappers. Or the people that the kidnappers gave them to.
So essentially, they're going to take on an entirely different identity.
They're going to forget where they came from.
So that would cause them to take on basically an entirely different identity.
Yes.
Yeah. So you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. God said that he would scatter the Israelites into the four corners of the earth and they would cease to remember who they were. You understand? Why would that happen?
Disobedience to God.
Disobedience to God. So when the Israelites disobeyed God, God caused them to go into captivity. Right? Go to Jeremiah. Yeah.
They did evil in the sight of the Lord.
Yeah, they did. They did.
That's all First
Jeremiah
and 2
50 and
Kings.
17. Listen to this. Jeremiah 50 and verse 17.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 17. Israel is a scattered sheep.
Israel is a scattered sheep into the four corners of the earth. Go ahead.
The lions have driven him away. First, the king of Assyria have devoured him.
Right, so the Assyrians, that was the first major captivity.
People.
They took 10 tribes of Israel out of the land of Israel and brought them to Assyria. And they were scattered because they would sell them amongst other nations too. So Assyria scattered 10 tribes. This was in 722 BC. 700 years before Christ. 10 out of 12 tribes were kidnapped and displaced from their homeland. You understand? You understand that?
I do understand that.
Okay.
The children pay the sins of the father.
And last, this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, have broken his bone.
Right, and then Babylon took the remaining tribes, which were the Jews.
Right. They were all Jews to begin with.
Well, you know what Jew mean? Jew? All right. So remember we talked about Jacob, right? Jacob had 12 sons. And one of those sons were named Judah. He's the progenitor of the tribe of Judah.
Right.
So the Jews were from Judah. Judah shared land with Benjamin.
Okay.
Judah and Benjamin were close in proximity, so they were, yeah, exactly. So Judah and Benjamin were the kingdom of Judah. The Levites were the priests of God, right? Like Moses, Aaron, right? They were the priests. Originally, they wanted to go and dwell with the majority, the 10 tribes. But the 10 tribes said, no, we reject the priesthood. We want to serve idols. So the Levites came and dwelt with Judah and Benjamin.
Right.
Okay.
Those are the 3 tribes that comprise the Jews.
Okay.
Babylon took the Jews captive and scattered them as well. You understand?
Yep.
So by the time you get to the New Testament, the Jews that dwelt in the land of Israel that Christ was teaching, that was a remnant, a small remnant of the actual Israelites in all of the world. You understand? So the people that rejected Christ were the scribes, Pharisees, the elders, which were a remnant of a remnant that were in the land at that time. There was a multitude of Israelites that were scattered hundreds of years prior to Christ coming on the scene. You understand? So we broke down an analogy of you having kids 5 and 6 being kidnapped, and by the time they were adults, they would say that they were from somewhere else and had different parents, right? And that was in a 15-year span, from 5 or 6 to 21, right? We talking about 700 years of captivity, being scattered, being sold, being displaced to other countries, speaking different forced to speak different languages. What do you think those Israelites were called?
I don't know.
You want me to show you?
Sure.
Go to Matthew chapter 4. Matthew chapter 4 and verse 15.
The book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 15. The land of Zebulun.
The land of who?
The land of Zebulun.
So Zebulun were not Jews. They were a part of the 10 tribes that were cut off from the Jews. So Zebulun, go ahead.
And the land of Naphtali.
And the land of Naphtali, which is also a part of the 10 tribes outside of the Jews. Go ahead.
By the way of the sea, beyond Jordan. Galilee of the Gentiles.
What did they call them?
Galilee of the Gentiles.
So those Israelites that were cut off from the Jews years ago, they were now called what, or identified as what? Gentiles.
That's right.
Gentiles, exactly. So you spoke about through Christ, now the Gentiles can be grafted in, correct? Everything that happened in the New Testament, like you quoted as well, was being fulfilled in the New Testament. So everything in the New Testament was a fulfillment of what was prophesied in the Old Testament.
Right.
So go to Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 16. This is what God said would happen in the future. All right?
Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 16. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick.
So he told the prophet Ezekiel, take thee one stick. Go ahead.
And write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions.
Right. So Judah and the children of Israel, his companions,
All the other tribes.
is no. It's not.
Okay.
It's Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Remember I explained it to you.
Right, the three that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So that's one stick. Go ahead.
Then take another stick
So then you take a separate stick. Go ahead.
and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions.
Right. So now you got Joseph. Joseph was the father of Ephraim and Manasseh. Ephraim was the head, like Judah was the head tribe of those 3. Ephraim was the head tribe of those 10 other ones. So those are his companions. So you got Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and then you got Ephraim and the rest of the tribes. Those are 2 separate sticks. Go ahead.
And join them one to another.
Do what?
And join them one to another.
And join them one to another. What is that process called when you join 2 separate sticks into one?
I would say fusing, but
Fusing? What's another word?
combining or
What's another one? You said it already. You said it earlier.
grafting.
Grafting. That's literally what that process is called. Grafting. So he said, take Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, take Ephraim and the other 10 tribes, and graft those 2 sticks together. Go ahead.
And they shall become one in thine hand.
Right, they shall become one. So at this time they were separate. But Ezekiel is prophesying that they shall become one. Go ahead.
And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these?
Right. When you demonstrate this, Ezekiel, the people are gonna wonder, what do you mean by this? This is a mystery. Go ahead.
Say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. And say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on...
Wait. Read that part again.
I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, and I will make them one nation in the land, upon the mountains of Israel. And one king shall...
And what?
And one king shall be king to them all.
So, this is prophesied during the time of Ezekiel, right? So this is future prophecy.
And they're talking about Jesus being the one king.
You already know where I'm going with this. So, remember, you quoted it. Christ said, I come to fulfill.
Right.
So this had not been fulfilled yet. Who would have to come and fulfill that?
Jesus would.
Jesus Christ. So the fulfillment would be, watch this, continue to read.
And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all.
So Jesus Christ would graft in the two kingdoms back into one, like you mentioned about during the time of David. Under David, all 12 tribes were united.
Yep.
And then he had Solomon, and then Solomon had Rehoboam. When Rehoboam reigned, that's when they split into two kingdoms. So there was never...
With Solomon, though, at the end of his life.
Yes. And his son Rehoboam was the fulfillment of that carrying out.
Okay.
Yes. So Israel was never united outside of under David and Solomon.
Right.
So Christ would come and unite them again.
Right.
So in the meantime of that happening, in the meantime of that coming to pass, right? What had happened to the Israelites? They were scattered all throughout the world amongst heathens. So, yes. So what did they become?
They became heathens themselves.
Exactly. So the New Testament is not different than what the Old Testament prophesied. Right. It's a fulfillment of what Ezekiel prophesied right there. It's not talking about all nations throughout the world. It's talking about Israel that was scattered amongst all nations throughout the world. Okay. It's the gospel is the good news that through Christ we are able to return and reunite as one nation. Right. You understand? That's what the New Testament is about.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is